Well, hello, everyone. I am so excited to be joining you for the launch of Haute Equestrian's brand new site. Caitlin, congratulations. I am so thrilled for you. You are an industry leader and you are connecting our community, and that is exactly what is needed. So big shout out to you on your special day, and thank you for having me. So guys, Caitlin has asked me to come here today and to talk to you guys a little bit about preparing your horses for the horseshoe season that is very rapidly coming upon us here in Ontario. Now, I also want to talk to you a little bit about community. So that same theme that Caitlin has with Haute Equestrian in connecting our community. And I know that sounds like those two things can't really be related, but bear with me. I am going to circle back to that and connect the two of them for you. So I'm Judith Rathbone. I am a soft tissue practitioner for horses, and I am the practice manager for Starline Bodywork. Now, one of the most asked questions we get at this time of year from our clients is about the preparedness of their horse for the horseshoe season that's ahead. I mean, we all know that the activity level that they are going to be seeing is greatly increased, and they're going to be doing a lot more. So we really have to look at what is fitness. Now, fitness is not just something that is cardiovascular. In fact, it's not something that's just about strength either. It's about the preparedness of the body to perform those exercises with strength and with cardiovascular capability. So what do I mean? Well, several years ago, I heard an absolutely incredible chiropractor speak. And this chiropractor was talking about the process of learning to do a handstand. I know that sounds like it doesn't have a lot to do with horses either, but bear with me here. So they were saying, you're learning to do a handstand. And quite often, the way you do this is to use a wall. So you essentially get really close to the wall and you put your hands down and you propel yourself up against the wall with the hopes that the wall will support you until you have the core strength to hold yourself there all on your own. But you have to look at it from a slightly different perspective. Now, if your wrists aren't functioning in a very wrist-like manner, if the soft tissue structures, the ligaments, the muscles aren't functioning well, if the shoulder doesn't have the correct capabilities to work as a shoulder, it doesn't have the correct workspace, it doesn't have the strength and the control of itself, and you have just hurled your entire body weight onto those structures, how is that going to end well? And that got me to thinking, that's not different from horses landing from jumps. That's the closest thing to a handstand, any horse is going to do. And it's true that if those supporting structures in the anatomy of the horse aren't ready to receive those loads and repetitively, then we're going to be in big trouble. And that's where the light bulb went off in my head. We have to have these horses training in the way that we train human athletes. Now, I'm a hunter jumper person. My background is in hunter jumpers. And so I'm going to pick a lot of hunter jumper examples for you, but there's examples for every sport that can correlate to this. Now, we do gymnastics in order to, I'm gonna use the term in quotation marks, gymnasticize our horse, to teach them skills that they can apply when they're on course in competition. This does not prepare the body. This is repetitive motion training, and it is for a skill set. It's not different if you think of a baseball player going into the batting cages and repetitively hitting a ball. So this is not preparing his tissues for the greater skill of playing the game of baseball, but it is teaching the skill. So when we gymnasticize our horses, we aren't actually preparing the tissue, we are teaching the skill set of jumping to the horses that they can apply later. But what I'm going to argue is we need to start to teach our horses body itself, its nervous system, its joints, its muscles, its ligaments, to be prepared for these forces and for these loads. In fact, I'm going to say that a large portion of the horses that we see in our one-on-one bodywork practice as the season goes on are experiencing fatigue in structures that could be avoided by actually preparing the tissues. So how are we going to do that? Well, I walk into a lot of barns. And one of the things I really commonly see is people taking the horse's forelimb or their front leg even, and picking it up and pulling it forward and holding it, and then backing up and gradually straightening that leg. And I've been told by countless people that their intention is to increase range of motion for the horse. It is to help the horse to free up its shoulder so that when they go and they ride, it's going to move better, to feel freer. Now, the science shows that that actually doesn't help. When we passively stretch our horses like that, what we're doing is exactly what we think. We are making them more flexible. Right? So we are elongating the muscles. We are giving messages to the tendons to lengthen, to soften. But is that really what we want to do before we go into exercise? Because the nervous system does not have access to that passive range of motion that you have given your horse in locomotion. It doesn't translate. Right? So there is no amount of holding your horse's leg out and counting to 30, 60, 90 seconds that is going to generate the same trot that Totilas has when he goes down center line. That can't happen. So what are we doing when we're stretching? We're actually creating a range of motion that the horse doesn't have control over. Now, we need to have control in range of motion. I want to think about the spine in particular. And we think about, we're always talking about horses and back pain, and we're becoming more and more aware of that. That's wonderful. But let's think about the spine all the way from the back of the skull, all the way to the end of the pelvic limb. Now, dynamically, the horse, when we have it in ridden frame, of course, we want the back up, we want the head to start to come down, all of those things. But what ends up happening is if horses experience a period of back pain in their life, much like humans, it can happen. What happens is there's all kinds of short back muscles that sit deep to the long back muscles that you're actually seeing on your horse. And these will become inactive in periods of back pain or even atrophy. And why that's troubling is these muscles are intended to stabilize the intervertebral joints when the horse has its back up and round. So you can see that it would create spasm in the length of the horse's back in those long back muscles, which is often mistaken for poor saddle fit. But it's not. And poor saddle fit often happens because these periods of back pain have happened because we haven't prepared those tissues to carry the weight of the rider and to do the job at hand. And when you think about range of motion, you think about the neck being able to move equally from left to right, to not drop the shoulder in on a turn, to be able to hold itself up in a frame confidently, right? All of these things take tissue preparedness, including the ability to have a strong abdominal core to help protect the ligament system and the muscle system in the back, to allow the lumbosacral junction of the horse to actually flex under and propel the horse forward. So you can see this type of tissue fitness and preparedness is one of the most important aspects of true fitness. And until we have control in those range of motion and range of motion, we don't want to be providing too much strength. And we don't want to be providing too much cardiovascular fitness. So control of range of motion is the very first step. And it's achieved very much the same way as it's achieved in Pilates in humans. And we can actually perform movements with our horses that emulate these Pilates style movements. So they're called dynamic mobilization exercises, and I call them DMEs for short, much easier to roll off the tongue. And these are the number one thing that I suggest you work into your routine. And it's an easy, quick habit to do with the horses. And it's going to radically change your riding and training. I can almost guarantee it. Now, it has amazing literature behind it, and it shows that in as little as 2 to 3 weeks of doing 5 minutes of dynamic mobilization exercises from the ground, these are all done from the ground, you can increase your horse's core strength, its pelvic stabilizer strength, and the strength and health of those short back muscles and range of motion control in the neck of the horse. 5 minutes a day. So this is such a simple thing to integrate into your existing training program. And in fact, they are the prerequisites that the body needs to be able to perform the skill set training, the gymnasticizing, and the gymnastic work, and the actual course work that your horse has to do. Right? So these are the foundation that we build the house on. This is the beginning of true fitness, right? And this will help with things like avoiding over stress from repetitive motion training. This will help all of those things. It will help if the horse has a slight misstep because it has more control of its range of motion. So that's through the nervous system and through the actual tissues and joints. Now, every year we get together, and this is where I'm going to roll it right back to that community thing. So every year we get together and we have an online dynamic mobilization exercise challenge, or the DMEs challenge, as we call it. And this is a real-time group training program that we do. And we have people, it's all online. We have people come in and we go through and we show them these exercises, and we get them progressively more difficult. We show them how to assess the horse, how to track the progress on their horse, and how to do these exercises correctly in order to see gains. And we make the exercises progressively harder as we go on through the challenge and allow these horses' bodies this foundation to true fitness and hopefully injury prevention and longevity through the season, right? So this is something that we're looking long-term super fitness of the horse. Now, we do this, and here's the community part. We do this as a fundraiser every year. And this year we have chosen a community project that's very near and dear to our hearts. Our video content creator, his name is Jay, and he does all of our video content creation for Starline Bodywork. And he started this, this fundraising initiative many years ago, and it's called Friends with Hearts. And what they do is they raise money for people in the community that need a little extra help around the holiday time. And so this year, that's what we're going to be raising money for. So we want to help our horse community get together and help their horses perform better than they ever have throughout the horse show season. And at the same time, we're going to be raising money for the community. Now, I also want to thank Caitlin and give her a big shout out, because this year we're doing prizes for the people who are involved in our DMEs challenge. And Haute Equestrian has, of course, as community-minded as they are, donated a super special prize for one of our participants. I can't tell you what it is yet. It's still top secret. But again, thank you, Caitlin, for your incredible commitment to community and to connecting all of our community. So if you guys are interested in getting your horses ready for show season, if you've even started showing already, fear not, this will still help. And you can do it in as little as 5 minutes a day. And you want to join the challenge. We have a special guest with us this year. It's going to be Dr. Kendall Dykstra, who is an equine chiropractor. You'll have me, group coaching program, prizes from Haute Equestrian. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. You can join at starlinebodywork.com/DMES-challenge. So I hope to see you all there. And again, Caitlin, thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of your launch. I am so excited for you. It's such a wonderful initiative. Thank you for being a community leader and a connector for all of us. I hope everyone has a great day and a super show season.